Well, these are kind of revolutionary technologies in many ways. They're emerging technologies, and what we're seeing is this great advancement in using them in not just healthcare, but across many different industries. In healthcare, it's really unique because we know we're digitizing a lot of our services and how we improve the patient journey. And XR technologies and AI have got a mass potential behind them. They also come, though, with a couple of hurdles, I suppose, or risks, which we need to navigate very carefully to make sure we get the best use out of those. So the expert panel today is to discuss those benefits and challenges with the adoption of XR technologies and AI as well. Our conference has been brilliant this year. You know, the theme's been about sustainability, and all the talks have been really focused on how we can take lessons, learnt here home, but keep them going. So simulation is kind of evolving. It's becoming something which I think is far more accessible, and ASPiH really is at the heart of making it accessible for everybody. And I think that's absolutely key for simulation to succeed, really.
I think there's opportunities for AI and XR to make a big difference in terms of learning outcomes, being able to allow experiences to help bridge the knowledge gap. There's a challenge in terms of bringing new people into the healthcare industry and getting them up to speed quickly, and this kind of technology will allow us to do that. AI in particular is exciting in terms of being able to passively listen to conversations and suggest better diagnostic outcomes and increase the efficiencies in hospitals. So it's pretty exciting, and I look forward to being on the panel. In terms of sustainability, I mean, it's a better utilisation of resources. Examples also is being able to use the technology to deliver healthcare remotely. So we've seen examples of that where you can reduce the travel and the need for patients to come in if you can deliver good quality healthcare remotely and get access to experts remotely. So that's an example, and as well as using XR to, I guess, dematerialize the world. So rather than investing in a lot of products and mannequins, you can get a high quality immersive experience to deliver those learning outcomes.
I'm really, really proud to have been part of this project. When I was still earlier in my career, the previous standards that were launched in 2016 guided me and guided my faculty group to do things right. So to be able to be part of this review and help the newer community in simulation to get things right as well is just lovely. I think we've done quite a big update on those standards. I think the introduction of values is really, really big. I think that considering simulation practice in its breadth is really, really important, and I think we have captured that. And I also think that we probably have made quite a lot of a change with regard to recognition of the roles of technicians and SPs, which are a very, very important part of our community. I think ASPiH is at a really, really good moment. I think that for me, at a personal level, it's been lovely to get to know better the newer members of the executive committee. There is so much enthusiasm, and I think that scientifically the conference is getting stronger. The content is much, much better in quality as time progresses. I think it just shows that the community is maturing, and it has had a real buzz. It's been record-breaking with regard to numbers, and I'm just looking forward to the next one.
I think there's two sides to sustainability. First of all, there's an environmental element. We all have limited resources. We're wanting to be able to reduce elements like carbon footprint. That's one of the reasons why we introduced digital solutions, less physical simulation with people having to travel, less resources needed to run those simulations as well, where you can bring in devices that people may have at home, using them across the internet. It's a lot less cash and resource intensive. The other side of it, I think, is more about the sustainability of simulation, making sure it's robust, it carries on. Resources change, budgets change. The technologies that we put in place mean that people are able to have repositories, for example, where they're going to store all of their content. That content will remain in place even after staff leave an organisation. There's elements such as providing training for physical resources people may have bought. If someone invests a large sum of money in a mannequin, one of the things we do is we make sure that they receive the appropriate training so they can get the most out of the technology. You hear stories all the time of people investing in technologies and they sit in a box in the corner. A lot of sustainability is about making sure people are getting the most out of the technologies they've invested in. Certainly when we come to events like this, it's our main opportunity to engage with our clients. We're listening to all of the research and the different academic streams that are taking place. It helps us understand their requirements, what they're wanting to be able to achieve. It helps us understand their challenges so that we as an organisation can help them adapt and overcome those different elements. The simulation community is quite small. There's very much a friendly element to it. It's an opportunity for everyone to connect, share their research, share their work, and very much all work together to drive patient safety.
Sure. So I think sustainability and simulation has been a conversation running for a few years now, but not in any structured way. So I think the fact that ASPiH have actually given a whole forum across to that topic, and obviously the theme of the conference, it just gives people somewhere to have the discussion, to air their views, to give their own experiences, and maybe even the challenges they've had in embedding sustainability in their practice. So I think it's great that ASPiH have given us that platform to share what we are doing. The way that we've approached the sustainability issue is we've looked both internally as a company is how we can be more sustainable, and that's runs through from everything from reusing all of our packaging and recycling and trying to be as zero waste as possible, to also looking at the customers and the customers' needs and how we can actually provide solutions which allow them to be more sustainable. So we've put a big focus on digital platforms, for example, so that people aren't having to invest huge amounts of money in hardware, in resources and in facilities which require them to be very kind of resource intensive and therefore less sustainable, and to allow them to appeal to kind of larger cohorts of students, for example, with solutions which are very low impact, so potentially allow students to access from any platforms, any devices, not reliant on particular hardware, not reliant on institutional networks, for example. And it allows them to have much more equity of experience, equity of access, and it allows universities to provide far more simulation of a much lower footprint.
We need to continue the conversation. I feel that the conversations around being sustainable, about sharing, about supporting, and about considering how we go forward. I've heard that in every room. I've heard really positive feedback around the standards being applicable, transferable, usable, and I've heard some amazing presentations the same, and I've had people ask, what's the conversation now going to be? So ASPiH are going to work hard to build some more information around on our podcasts, using and using the website a little bit more, thinking about how we engage regionally, nationally and internationally. And I think we have to think about how do we continue to be greener, cleaner, efficient, happy, and a caring society. And that's what I've heard. It's a friendly conference, and I feel that that's what that's been. It's been amazing to meet so many people. So I think I said intended learning outcomes were meet someone new, learn something new, do something new. And I just want everybody to do that.